Hello, and thanks for joining me here for another episode of Storytime. Today's story is called Lost and Found, and it's from my collection, Peripheral Visions and Other Stories. Lost and Found. Jesse had been collecting things for as long as he could remember. All kinds of things. A bit of dirty twine that once tied shut a bag of birdseed. A blue marble with a chip marring its perfect roundness. A rusty padlock with a key trapped inside. He didn't know why he had sought out these items, why they called to him amid the flotsam and jetsam that littered the city's streets. Why the marble and not the bottle cap next to it? Why the twine and not the skein of faded red yarn? Why the padlock? No, that one was easy. People bought padlocks because they wanted to protect something. Somewhere there was a box or a cupboard that contained a secret, a treasure that needed to be secured and protected. But until the padlock was put back where it belonged, the terrible risk of loss existed. The padlock with its key was the only item that Jesse carried with him all the time as he wandered the streets. The rest he kept hidden in a cardboard shoebox that once held Easy Strider men's brown loafers size 12 extra wide width that he had pulled from the trash can outside Aunt Martha's back door. Not that she was his aunt. That was just what she had told him to call her when the family services lady left him there 6 months ago. Sometimes the people said he could use aunt and uncle. Other times, like at the last place, he had to be more formal. Mr. and Mrs. Blackthorpe, or Reverend and Mrs. Collier. Although when he was 5 and a half, there was a woman who said he could call her Annie. Just Annie, she had told him while she hung up his 2 pair of jeans and 1 jacket, the one that was really too small but was all that he had. I'm pretty easygoing, she had continued, and he took her at her word. Everybody did. Annie had bright blue eyes, a big smile that showed her small white teeth, red hair that she pulled back in a white and black check scrunchie, and freckles. Lots of freckles. Freckles on her face, on her arms and legs, even on the palms of her hands. One time he counted 17 of them before he felt the sting of her flesh against his face. She had held her hand for what seemed like forever, inches before his eyes, and he had just made it to the cluster at the base of her thumb before her hand came so close that it all blurred. And then all he could think about was how important it was not to cry. I told you to empty your pockets before you put your filthy pants in the washer, she had said, still smiling. This is what happens when you forget, meting out one punishing blow for each of the 8 items that she found in the bottom of the washer tub. A nail, a penny, a bottle cap, a blue jay's feather, a plastic spoon, a tiny screwdriver, a broken watch band, and half a lottery ticket. Once it was over, she made him retrieve each item from the chipped porcelain tub and throw them all away. At least, she thought they were thrown away. But later that night, after she fell asleep, he left the lumpy couch that served as his bed and dug through the greasy chicken bones and takeout containers in the trash bag until he found every one of them. He didn't know where else to keep them safe, so he dug a hole in the dirt next to the garbage cans and hid them deep inside. Jesse's plan was to retrieve them before he left Annie's house forever. He knew that someday he would leave or be taken away. But when that day came, the social worker picked him up at his school, not at Annie's house, and he was put in the back seat next to a bag that held what little clothes he had, and whisked away so fast he couldn't even ask to go back. He never forgot about them, though. He wrote down Annie's address on a scrap of paper and mentally promised all those lost items that he would come back and take them away. He still had that paper, even after 4 moves, and it was now safely stored in his shoebox. But not at Aunt Martha's. After what happened at Annie's, he knew the danger of keeping special things at the places he stayed. So as I said, that is my excerpt called Lost and Found from Peripheral Visions and Other Stories. I was intrigued by the idea of the things that we keep. You know, I'm sure if you look around in your desk drawer, in the bottom of your handbag, in your pocket, there's always 1 or 2 items that you tend to carry with you all the time. At least I know I do. And sometimes we're not even sure why we do it. It just gives us a certain amount of comfort. In Jesse's case, the items that he saved, even the items that he didn't have with him, but that he had promised to go back and retrieve, they were, in his way, a connection, some kind of a link to, I don't know, being in control, into having some control over where he was, what he had, because he had so little. And with all the moves that he'd gone through as a foster child, each time he moved, he lost something. Security, love, the hope of love. And, you know, these items that he saves, that he keeps, they mean something to him because I suppose in Jesse's mind, if he can hold on to these items, then maybe someday he can find somebody who will hold on to him the way he holds on to the items. It sounds like a sad story, but at the same time, it is a story of hope, of the indomitable spirit that even a child can have, the belief that things will get better. You know, if you just hold on long enough, things will get better. You'll have a place to go, a place to stay. And that is what Jesse is hoping for. And perhaps that's why he's keeping all these items so securely, so that when he finds a place where he can be, his forever place, his home, then all those items will be brought there, and he will be surrounded by the security that he has tried so hard to find. So, as I said, this is an excerpt from Lost and Found, and I hope if you are intrigued by it, you will pick up a copy of Peripheral Visions and Other Stories. Read that particular one, perhaps read the other ones in the collection, and then drop me a line. Tell me what you think. Did you like them? Did they make you feel sad? Did they affect you in some deep way? Did they remind you of something in your own life? Let me know. Tell me what you think. It's always wonderful to hear from people who read my stories. Thanks so much for being part of my day and part of the story time, and I look forward to sharing another story with you the next time we get together. Thank you.